Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm trying to block out the extra sunlight. Let me see if I can turn the blinds down instead. Not sure if that's better, but welcome everybody. As usual for my live streams, I tend not to wait too long for people to come in, so you catch this live whenever you catch it. Um, I'm on my laptop. That's number one. Number two, I'm in a room where I I think it's I think the internet doesn't flow well through this room. So if it's breaking up, I apologize beforehand. But if this is your first time watching this video, my name is Malika and I am a teacher on a J1 program. I am not a recruiter, I am not a sponsor, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a regular Jamaican teacher um who came on one of these J1 programs. And today I am here to share with the masses whatever it is that they want to know. I've been doing a lot of videos and I constantly get questions, and I wanted to just respond to those questions today. So, once again, whether you're on the live currently or not, whenever you see this video, you can still benefit from it. So, I have my phone with my questions that I have actually extracted from a lot of the videos that I've done. And while I am on this live stream, if people want to ask questions as I go along, feel free to ask questions. But I'm going to go ahead and just start asking questions. And if questions come to you while I'm asking, just feel free. So, welcome, 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 welcome once more. Welcome, whether you're watching this live presently, real time, or after the live is finished. So, just to also say, whatever information you receive from this live, please do your own research afterwards. It's always good to do your own research afterwards. All right. And remember to like this video. Just started, but go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. I'm gonna start with questions. Well, like I said, I have the questions on my phone. Let me just start with these questions, and please don't be shy. As a question come to you, type it in the chat, and I'll respond to it as best as I can. So the first question that I have from the list of questions I've received is, when coming on these J1 programs, can I bring my mom, my dad, my kids, my spouse? The response is, you can bring your children, you can bring your spouse. That is somebody that you're married to, not just your boyfriend or your girlfriend, somebody that you're married to on paper. You cannot bring your parents. Parents are not a priority, I guess, on these J1 programs. But your children and also your spouse, you can bring them. The second question is, can my kids come right away, or my spouse? On most J1 programs, your children cannot come immediately. They require that your children come after 90 days, or after 90 days they'll give you the documentation required for your children and your spouse to come. Some of the programs, like I'm on Interlage, and I've seen before where they've allowed children to come with their parents immediately, and that's after having a conversation with the program director, explaining your situation and having them feel some sort of empathy towards you. So I know that it can happen, but not for all the programs. Most of them do say 90 days and after. Can my spouse work on the program? So yes, if you're on a J1 program, your spouse would have a J2 visa. After your spouse has obtained your his or her work permits and whatnot, they can go ahead and work. Welcome to the viewers just coming in. Please feel free to just put your questions in the chat and I'll respond as best as I can. Right. So the next question is, I got this question recently. Do I have to bring just cash? How will I get around after moving to the US? When I just got here, of course, I didn't have an American bank account as yet, an American card or anything like that. And I was using my good old Scotia Visa debit. I had a bank account with Scotia Bank in Jamaica. I had a bank account with NCB. I never used my NCB card here, but I was definitely using my Scotia debit card. Tip though, when I was trying to use it in Walmart specifically, there was always a problem with me. Hi, Kenisha. There was always a problem with me. I think it was the swipe feature. It wasn't work with that. But once you tap it, once you use the little, what you call it on the card, the little chip that's on the card and tap it, it works. So yeah, you can use your debit card from your country. It should work. In terms of cash, presently I never have cash on me, like, ever. So I use my card all the time. I have an American account now, but when I just got here, I did travel with money. I can say how much I traveled with in cash. I traveled with $800. And that was good enough to help me through my first month before I got paid. And of course, some people traveled less, like, yeah. So it's always good to have cash just in case for some reason your card isn't working. But your card should work, hopefully. Next question is, do I have to pay my program sponsor out of my monthly salary? This is a good question, and I know that a lot of people have concerns about this because, and I too had a concern about this before I came here, like wondering if out of my hard-earned money, my program sponsors would be getting a little cut out of it. But no, that's not the case. Whatever you earn, or at least once again, I'm with Interlage, and I've realized that whatever I earn, I earn. I don't see where there's a decrease in my salary based on what was proposed to me. When I look on the county's website and the salary scale there, that's what I am getting. So my response based on my program is no, these programs aren't dipping into your monthly salary. However, you may be wondering, like, how do these people earn their own money since they're not dipping into your salary? They earn through the contract or the agreement that they have with these counties. So the counties pay them. I don't know how the arrangement work, but they're not dipping into your salary. Next question is, do I get health insurance for myself and my dependents? And let me pause right here, and I'm gonna keep saying this. Put your questions in the chat. Don't be shy. I see the questions all the time below my videos. This is the time to ask your questions. No matter how silly I think the question may sound, ask a question in the chat, and I'll try to respond as best as I can. Right. Do I get health insurance for myself and my dependents? Yes, on my program, and I know on other programs as well, they provide you with health insurance. They have their own company that they use. On my program, in terms of payment for the health insurance, it works in two ways. One, either you pay them, like you sell them the money, or some of the counties allow them to actually take it directly from your salary, so they can take your health insurance from your salary. But for my county, I have to sell my program directors my health insurance. And as an individual person, yes, I'm married, but we're paying individual health insurance because we're both J1 holders. We're paying $70 for health insurance on a monthly basis. I think people with, and the health insurance that they've given us is GeoBlue. I'm trying to find the email with the health insurance information, actually, because people with families do pay more. I think it's actually really close, but that's how the cookie crumbles. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Trying to see. I'm not finding it right now, but I wanted to give you the accurate information as to how much you actually have to pay for the health insurance. But it's not right here. But yeah, I am paying $70 as an individual person. Okay, a question in the chat. Does the 50 pounds weight system go for teachers going on the program? Could you further explain? I'm not sure what you're asking. 50 pounds weight system. Are you talking about luggage? Are you talking about plane luggage? AM, just further explain what you're really saying so I can better respond to you. Um, yeah, but in the meantime, so yeah, health insurance. So yeah, if you're here individually, you get your health insurance. Um, if you bring family, you also have to pay health insurance for them, which will be it's not gonna be like I'm paying $70. If you have like a child or a spouse, you're not gonna pay 140. It's gonna be actually more than that. And it's just basic coverage. It doesn't cover dental. It doesn't cover eye care. It covers a regular doctor visit, some blood work if you need to have some blood work done. Some of them, just basic stuff. Luggage. No, no, no. Not sure if it's sir or ma'am, but no sir or no ma'am. Um, we still have to adhere to whatever rules the airlines, have for their thing. So if the airline says no more than 50 pounds, because you're migrating to a whole different country, they don't care about that. You just have to pack the necessary things. As for me, I brought two luggages. Is luggage Can we pluralize luggage? Um yeah, I bought two suitcases. I know I can pluralize that. And one carry-on. So for my suitcases, my check-in suitcases, one of them I had work clothes, just strictly work clothes. Hold on. Sorry guys. Right, one of them I had strictly work clothes, and the next one I had like my casual clothes and other things. But either way, even no matter how much you're packing, you think you're packing the right things, you're still gonna find yourself spending money for some stuff. Like I still ended up purchasing clothes and whatnot. Um, but yeah. So sorry about that. AM, no, the luggage thing is it's we're not exempted from that. So pack smartly, pack wisely. Right. The next question is, can I file taxes like US teachers? I got this question recently as well. Will I get my money back? Yes. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if this goes for every country, but I definitely know for Jamaicans. Um, and maybe it's for other countries too, but you guys have to further research that part. For the first 2 years of working in the country, by right, your pay should not be taxed. I mean, it will be taxed, but when it's time for you to file your tax returns, you should be able to get back everything that's listed on your W-2. So there's that. But yes, you can file taxes. You're legally working in the country, and you're legally entitled to whatever money back is being given. We're not slaves. Yeah. Next question is, and welcome to those coming in. Please put your questions in the chat box. I want to respond. Do I have to have a certain amount of money in my bank account? And I think this question is coming from maybe England, because I know to go on most of the England programs, you have to have a certain amount of money in your bank account for how many months before. But for Interlage that I'm on and for the other programs that I know of, no one has really asked for you to have, let's say, 300,000 Jamaican dollars, that is, or 3,000 US dollars in your bank account prior to coming to the United States. Of course, they'll always recommend that you have some spending money and whatnot, but it's not a requirement. It's not that if you don't have a certain amount of money in your bank account, when you go to the embassy, they're going to deny you that visa. That's not the case. Another question in the chat is, I have a trained teacher certificate, maths major, a bachelor's in management, and a master's of arts in education. Do do I stand a chance in getting a teaching job in the US since I don't have a bachelor's in education? But you said you have a master's in education, so why not go ahead and apply? As a matter of fact, that's one of the questions that I have listed here. And I wanted to verify this with somebody before I came on this live, because it's a question that I've been getting very often. People asking, I have a bachelor's in this, it's not in education, can I still apply? For Savannah, That's an H1 county, by the way. That's a J1 county. For Savannah, I know that they'll take you definitely with a degree, not in education, but you have to understand this is Georgia, and you may, even though you'll be accepted, you may be required after you come here to fulfill other requirements according to state laws and whatnot. So maybe you'll have to do a course here, maybe. Okay. Everything that I say here, you guys make sure you do your own research after that to further understand your individual situation. In terms of the programs, the J1 programs, some of them will accept you. Some of them are kind of lazy and can't bother to really investigate your situation, and they'll tell you no. But my thing is, and I've always said it in every single video, it is totally free to apply. So it's best to apply and see what happens than to not apply and then to learn later on that, you could have applied and you could have gotten through. So just apply. When you apply, when they reach out to you, you can always fully explain your situation to these program sponsors or human resource officers or whatever from the counties, and hear what they have to say directly. Application is free, 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 free. So don't shy away from applying. Next question. Please, guys, put your questions in the comment section, and of course, I have my questions here that I'm reeling off while you guys are, thinking about your questions. So, I just spoke about the taxes. Answered that question about the bachelor's thingy. Next question is, and I spoke about the amount of money that you have to have in your bank account, which is nobody's asking you for that for you to get through. Do I need to have home ties? And I've been getting this question a lot since recently. Home ties is something that is linked to the visitor's visa, mostly linked to the visitor's visa. And guys, I don't work done by the embassy. I'm not an immigration lawyer. None of that. I'm just talking based on what I know and what I've observed and also experienced for myself. So nobody's asking you to be married. No one is asking to own a home or own a business back home in order to get through on this J1 program, or if you're going on an H1 program, because you're coming already legally to work. The whole thing about the ties thing is really for visitors visa, because they don't want people to come and run off and try to seek work illegally in the US. But you're already proving that you're legally about to work in the US because you have your documentation to back it up. So there's no need to have any special ties to the country. You don't need to say I have 10 children down here, so and they won't be coming with me, so I definitely have to go back. No. Hi Tashana. Shady is asking, can you give me a rough estimate of how much taxes is withdrawn monthly? Shady or Shade, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but I apologize if I am mispronouncing your name. But I think your last name is Roche, or yeah. But the what's it called? Right. The estimate of how much tax is withdrawn. It's really based on a county to county basis, the amount of taxes that are withdrawn, because some counties tax heavily for like pension versus other counties, and so it really varies. And it also depends on the amount of money that you are making, because of course the more money that you earn, the more taxes will be withdrawn for federal and state taxes. I'm gonna give, I guess, an average, maybe. And guys, don't take my word for it. Do your research otherwise. I'm just gonna speak based on what is, from myself and for my friends. Accumulating all those. I would say between $700 to, let's say, $1,200. It could be more, could be less. Let's go between there on a monthly basis, between 700 and 1,200, being withdrawn from your pay. Somebody's asking, what about the Indian degree? And also asking, is teaching experience necessary? In terms of having a degree from India, it doesn't matter where in the world you're from. Once you attended college for 4 years and you have a bachelor's degree, and you can verify that you do have a legitimate bachelor's degree, your degree came from an accredited institution, go ahead and apply. They're not discriminating on your degree from where you're from or anything like that. You'll not have to do extra courses because your degree is from India or Ghana or Nigeria. Your degree is quite valid. You worked hard for it. Go ahead and apply. Is teaching experience necessary? Most of these places are asking, and I don't know this as a fact, but this is what I've observed, and this is a conclusion that I have drawn. I have seen where all these J1 programs are asking for at least 2 years of teaching experience, verifiable teaching experience. And the conclusion that I have drawn is that perhaps it's a law for international teachers. That's the conclusion I have drawn, because based on how competitive the market is, and different agencies want different teachers to come into their programs, I would want to assume that if I have an agency, I would lower the number of years teaching experience that each teacher has in order to have an edge above another company, and so I can get more teachers applying. So the fact that all of them are asking for at least 2 years of teaching experience, I'm just assuming that perhaps it's a law that's here, and it's regardless of what state you're going into. That's what I've been seeing right across the board from these J1 programs. So I hope I answered that question. Um, okay, Roach, thank you. Um, can a teacher live comfortably on $5,000 monthly in the United States? It depends on where you are. It depends on where you are and what the living expenses are. I am in Georgia. You could definitely live comfortably in Georgia on $5,000 monthly after tax. Um, Even if it's $5,000 before tax, you could definitely live comfortably on that in Georgia. If you're living somewhere like in perhaps New York, and guys, I am not an American, so I'm just speaking based on what I know from other people and whatnot. If you're living in one of the northern states where cost of living is more expensive, and maybe your rent is going to be like $4,000, $3,000, then maybe you can't live comfortably on $5,000. So it all depends on where you're living. I do not have information on all 52 states. And I can't stress that enough, but just from interactions with people and whatnot. So $5,000 in Georgia is definitely good. Um, Hi. Hello, Joshua. The question is on ethics assessment payment. My bank in Kenya remit through intermediary institution after what? It seems the payment system does not accept this. Is this affecting all payments from? Okay, I think I get the question that you're trying to ask. So you're trying to pay for your ethics test, but it's not going through. I experienced the same issue. I think other teachers have experienced the same thing as well. When I was in Jamaica trying to pay for my ethics test, it definitely wasn't going through. I know other people who've experienced this as well. For some people, it went through. For some people, it didn't go through. And I know people who have the same bank, type of bank as I did at the time, and it probably went through for them and didn't go through for me. I don't know what the issue is, but I had to wait until I got here, opened my US account, and then I paid for the thing, because it's not something that you have to do prior to coming to the US. If there's an issue that you're having with it, I would say speak to the program sponsor about it if they're requiring it. But I do understand your frustration. It's something that I went through myself. I was unable to fix it. I know somebody even right now where the thing actually took her money, and she saw where it came out of her her bank account, and it still didn't accept it on the system. So if you do know somebody in the US, and you can ask them to pay for it for you, and you send them the money. So you send them the money first, and then they pay for it from their US account. That will just make it a whole lot easier. I've done it for my friends. I know the struggles. I don't know why it is not accepting some people's thing. Like I said, I went through it as well. I was using my Visa debit, which should work like a credit card. I've done multiple online, shopping things, business stuff on it, and it wasn't going through. I even asked. I used my mom's card. It just wasn't going through. So I get it. So my advice If you do have somebody in the US, a friend or a family member that you could send the money to and ask them to pay for it, you give them the details and everything. Somebody that you trust, you give them your login details and let them pay for it for you. Do that. Um, how can we verify or check our degree? I've actually done a video on this. You can check it out on my page. There are many evaluation companies, and I want to say this here and now that if you're using an evaluation company, make sure first of all. Thank you, Tashana. Yes, tell the people, like the video, guys, like the video. Right. If you want to verify your degree, there are many, many evaluation companies out there. Ensure first of all though that Tashana said only 3 likes, and I have so many people on the live. But like the video, guys. You guys asking all these questions, like the video. Thank you. But right, there are many evaluation companies out there. Please check to see if these companies are accepted by the state that you're trying to enter into, because I know that different states have different evaluation companies that they prefer. There's a long list. I keep recommending Spantran, and I'll say this: I am not being sponsored by Spantran. Spantran is just the evaluation company that I've used. I think they're easy to use, and I keep recommending them. And I know that many of the states also use Spantran. But once again, don't just get up and use Spantran. Check to see if Spantran is accepted in the state in which you are trying to teach. So right, just get onto one of these evaluation companies. They'll require you to get a transcript from your institution. No, you cannot. If you have a transcript already, you cannot upload it for yourself. The transcript has to come from the institution itself. There's one company that I used recently where I could actually upload my transcript myself. I'm forgetting the name of it right now, but hopefully later on I'll remember and I'll put it in the description box in this video. But most of them, they require that you get the transcript from the institution sent directly to them from the institution, and then they'll evaluate it from there. You'll get the report that says that your degree is equivalent to a US degree in such and such major or minor. Right. That's how you evaluate your degree. You go through one of the evaluation companies. I'm looking at the questions. I like how the questions are rolling in now. I like how the questions are rolling in, and keep them coming. Hi Malika. Hi Jackie. I have a Bachelor of Education, but I never did the student practical teaching. Can I be eligible? Was the teaching practice a part of your program? But because I don't understand, if you have a bachelor's in education, that means that you would have met all the requirements for that program in order to have the bachelor's in the first place. So is it that having teaching practice was not a requirement for your program? So Jackie, give me some clarity on that. In the meantime, do you need to have your certificates evaluated prior to an interview? The response to that depends on the program that you're going through, and they'll let you know. If you're applying to Savannah, I know that you have to have your thing evaluated while applying for the thing. If you're applying to most of these J1 programs, most times it's really after you've gotten through for your school and whatnot that they'll ask you to evaluate. Sometimes they'll ask you to evaluate it before. So it all boils down to the agency that you're using or the county that you're going through. My application as a math teacher, hold on, let me see if, right. My application as a math teacher was being approved by one of the agencies in the US, but they informed me that they're out of, what? That they're out of visa for the 2022, 2023, 2024. Is there any other option for me? Apply to a different agency. I got confused. I'm sorry for saying what, but I got confused a little bit when I was reading there, because I was like, out of visas. But then I remembered when I was speaking to the recruiting officer from Peoria Public Schools, he did tell me that for his school system, his school district, they had like 105 visas. So now I understand exactly what you're saying when they say they're out of visas. They're approved to, help people with 105 visas. But if this agency is not able to sponsor any more visas for this school year, just apply to a different agency. No biggie. Um, Okay, so Tashana is telling us that California schools do not like Spantran. So if anyone is going there, find out which to use. Right, I've said it, guys. Find out which evaluation company is preferred by your state or the state that you're trying to work with. Good day. What classroom management tips or strategies have worked for you so far? Wow. I actually plan to do a whole video on this, but let me try to put it in short. Um, Number one, learn the culture, because if you don't try to learn the culture of the school, of the students, of the place, almost everything can be misinterpreted as disrespect. um Coming from a country like mine, Jamaica, where I'm used to students saying yes sir, yes miss, and stuff like that all the time. Mm, right. Things that the students say, or even coworkers, or sometimes it can be misinterpreted as disrespect. So that's number one, learn the culture. Number two, there's something here called it's the same thing as a warm up. It's called a bell ringer. Some people call it do nows. Some people call it all sorts of things, but that is so important. And it's not your regular warm up, where for me back in Jamaica, my warm up was usually like a high sprung kind of thing, something kind of energetic, something to really get you going, whether it's a song or some movement thing or whatever. That's not the bell ringer here. It's like sit down and do your work, something kind of mellow and whatever, just to really get them settled at first. I really have to do a whole video on this and get my thoughts fully together, because there are many management tips. But those are the first that I would say. Try to build a relationship with the students, because as much as teachers will say, I don't care if the students like me, I'm not here for you to like me. It's important. If your students like you, it will make classroom management a whole lot easier. Listen, I've had students defend me in a class before with perhaps another disrespectful student, because they like me. You have to have a relationship with your students, and that everything comes together in the boiling pot of classroom management. I'm moving on to another question, but hopefully I can drop the classroom management video very soon. Hi, darling. Hello, Deborah. Do I need to be a qualified teacher? I have a city and guilds in teaching adults. I have a master's degree in science. Let's hope that the master's degree will save you, but you do need some sort of let me look back at this question, because I don't want to misinterpret it. Do I need if you're asking if you have to have a teacher's degree or teaching degree, no. No. Go ahead and apply. I've said it before, some of you are just joining. If you have any questions regarding application, my answer is just apply. Do not doubt yourself. Apply. It's either the people will take you or they won't take you, right? Apply. Application is free. Hey, I'm just joining. Have you heard about GEC? Anyone else have applied to them? You're the third person or the fourth person to ask me about GEC. I'm not well versed on them. I'm just hearing about them. But like I said in one of my recent videos on legitimate programs, if this is a program that is able to give you an interview with a real county, a real school, and these people are able to provide you with an authentic DS 2019 permit, that's your work permit, then hey, go at it. But I'll always also say, do your research, do additional research on these people. I don't know. Okay, Tashana is confirming in the comments that they're legit and that she did an interview with them. There you go. Tashana, do you know of anybody who has actually gotten through to their program? Has anyone booked their J1 interview appointment recently? I'd like to know the dates that are currently available. How close or far out are they? This is dependent on your country, though, sweetheart. The dates for visas, it's really dependent on the country that you are in. But also, what country are you in? Michio. I'm sorry, pronunciation. Sorry. Which country are you in? But otherwise, guys, when I applied for my J1 visa, I got a date for November. That's like months after school starts. But all I did, I kept checking the dates. That's one. And two, I expedited my date. Expediting your date is free after you've done the initial appointment. You just go back into the system, you click expedite appointment, you write to them and you tell them why you need an expedition. And mine was approved. Some others weren't approved. Some of my friends' expedition, it wasn't approved. However, they realized that after applying for their expedition, the dates started to free up, and they were able to get dates closer to the time that they actually wanted. So don't worry about that. Um, okay, Tashana is saying that Dr. Britton did an interview with GEC. Cool. So guys, you can check out the interview that Dr. Britton did with them. That's Kicking It with Dr. Britton. Do you have any insights on the Teach Savannah program? I did a video on that, Tassiana, but you have to ask specific questions regarding them, because I can't do like a whole video on them right now, but I do have a video on Teach Savannah. What specific question do you have? Same thing for K Brown. Hi Malika, do you know anything about Teach Savannah? All right, let me just quickly say Teach Savannah is not a J1 program. Teach Savannah is an H2B program. What's the difference between a J1 and a H2B? The J1 is a exchange program, a cultural exchange program, where you are required to go back to your country after the end of your contract. So typically the J1 program lasts for about 3 years, and usually you get to extend for another 2 years, making it 5 years in all. And then after the 5 years, you're supposed to go back to your countries, okay? But of course, I'm sure you guys know J1 teachers who were supposed to go back who are still in the US. And they're here legally because they did something called a waiver and they were able to push through and stay here. Teach Savannah offers H2B visas, not J1. The H2B visa can last between 1 to 3 years. The thing about the H1 visas is that because it's a dual intent visa, you can apply for a green card with that. And that's especially if you have a county that is supporting you with this thing. Savannah is one of those counties. So that's a quick overview of Savannah. And yeah, what else do you guys want to know about Savannah? Any other questions? While you guys are thinking about your questions, I'm gonna go back to my list of questions, the questions that I had prepared in advance while you guys are thinking of your questions. Where was I? Oh, another question popping up while I'm looking. Okay. Question: do you know anyone who is on filing and was successful in getting a J1 or J2 visa? I do know one person actually who was being filed for. Go for it. What the heck? Go for it. Go for it. The thing though is, I guess it's who is filing for you and how long you think it's gonna take. If you're impatient, if you know it's something that you're definitely gonna get through for, just wait it out. But otherwise, I guess it can come. But the thing about a J1 or a J2 is that it ties you. As I just said, it's different from an H1, which is a dual intent thing. The J1 requires that you go back to your country for 2 years, blah 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 blah. And not to say that you can't sort it out, but it's like you're putting yourself in an unnecessary type of stress. If your filing soon come through, I say wait it out. If not, go at it. And yeah. All right, next question on my list of questions while I wait for y'all to bring in your questions. And guys, let me keep saying this. I am not an immigration lawyer. I am not a recruiter from any one of these programs. I'm just a regular teacher from Jamaica who is sharing her experience and also giving insight based on what I know of from others. I am not an expert at this. I'm just here to help in the smallest way that I can. Joshua, regarding the ethics thing, please call your bank and let them know so that you can get back your money. Call your bank, Joshua. Call your bank. Call your bank. Let them know what's happening. Leonie is asking. Oh, Leonie, let me skip your question for a little bit. Kay is asking, someone told me about Interlage. Does anyone know if it's legit? Kay, I am actually on Interlage. I am on Interlage. Yes, it's legit. Sometimes they're slow. Yes, it's legit. When I say sometimes they're slow, like when I told my friends who were applying that, them kind of slow with the communication and whatnot. So they didn't understand what I was saying until they really started the process with Interlage. They were like, why are these people taking so long to respond to me? But yes, they're legit. They're just kind of slow, But yeah, Leonie, can you say how long after you signed a contract for teaching in the USA you wait to receive the DS 2019? So I did my interview, was successful. They sent me the contract like a day after, and after I signed the contract, they sent me my DS 2019 in like a week. Came straight to my door in like a week. It didn't take long, and after I got my DS, of course, I was able to apply for my visa. And I could have actually like been here much sooner, but because it was like the C19 time, the visa dates were far out and whatnot. But in terms of the documentation, it didn't take me any time to actually receive those. 1 week and I got my DS. Um. Oh, okay. So you say no money was paid as it relates to the filing, so we have to wait. Go ahead with the J1 then. Go ahead with the J1. Don't know what the future holds. Go ahead with your J1. All right. Okay. Next question on my list is, and guys, ensure that you like the video. Click like. It costs $0 to like the video. If you can share the video, share the video as well. And thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. I love interacting with you guys. The next question that I have here is, where is it? I spoke about the home ties thing. Can I get a green card working on a J1 visa? So I kind of just explained that on a J1 visa, you're required to go back home and whatnot. My answer to it is no, you cannot get a green card on a J1 visa, but the possibility exists post J1. Why I'm saying that is, remember I said that after you've completed your 3 years, got your 2 years extra, 5 years, after you've completed your 5 years or close to completing your 5 years, because you can't wait until you actually complete it. You have to start the process from before. And you apply for your waiver, you go ahead and you get a H1 county to sponsor you. Yes, you can get a visa after that. So the J1 visa itself, the J1 program itself will not give you a green card, but the possibility lies after you've completed, that program. And sometimes you just want a foot through the door. So the J1 is like a foot through the door to get into the US. So there's that. Next question here is, what's the difference between a J1/J2 H1B/H4 and an H2B visa? Sometimes I've heard, I was about to say I've heard. Anyway, I've heard people use H1B and H2B interchangeably, but they're actually two different visas. I just told y'all already, J1 visa is a cultural exchange visa. The J2 visa is a dependent visa that you get. So if I'm on a J1 visa and I'm bringing my children or my spouse, they'll get a J2 visa. The H1B visa, like I said before, is a dual intent visa. It allows it to work and everything. The H4 is what I guess I'll call the dependent visa for the H1 visa. And then an H2B visa is for non-professionals. So if you're not somebody with a degree, or if you're trying to come up to work as like, what do you call it? Maybe a front desk person or on a farm program, or one of those things where you just stay for like a year to 18 months, you get an H2B visa. Next question is, guys, remember, don't be shy to put your questions in the comment section, and remember to like the video. The next question is, forgive me guys, I said it earlier on, I'm on my phone trying to look at the questions that I prepared prior to this thing. Do I have to have a driver's license? The response to that is yes and no. Yes for some companies, no for others. It's no for Interlage. You don't have to have a driver's license with Interlage. Glory be to God. But at the same time, I keep telling people, even if you don't have a driver's license in your country, knowledge of how to drive is definitely a necessity, because most of the places that you're placed, they don't have bus access, train access, and you'll have to be taking Uber all the days of your life if you don't know how to drive. And if you know that it's a reasonable cost to learn how to drive in your country, I say learn how to drive from now, because you don't want to come and spend a lot of money learning how to drive here. Like, just try to learn from your home country. There's another question in the comment section. What are some of the solid home ties to a country? Jamaica only, probably. Okay, I spoke about this from before. You're coming on a J1 visa. You're already being permitted to work. The home ties thing is really relating to a visitor's visa, where they don't want you to come here and work illegally. And so they're requiring you to have all of that, and they don't want you to come here and run off and work illegally. But J1, you're already coming here legally to work. Nobody's asking you to have house and land and cars and all these things. Like, I did a video recently, guys. Check out the video if you haven't checked it out as yet. I did a video on some of the questions that you were asked at the embassy based on what I've been asked and what my friends have been asked. And you'll realize that these questions are nothing serious. They're literally just asking you questions while they stall to put the approval thingy on the screen. That's all. Nothing serious. Unless, and I'll keep saying this as well. You know your individual situation, but once you know that you have a clean record and everything is good, I don't see why you'll be denied your J1 visa. Um, Next question is, what's the weather like in wintertime? Any need for different sets of clothing? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So I'm in Georgia, as y'all know, and even though it doesn't snow here, it gets very cold. Like the other day, it was negative 13 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit, Celsius, which was pretty cold. It was very, very cold. I've never owned, you guys see me in a sweater, right? I'm in a sweater right now. It's actually cold. It's not very cold right now, but it's cold. I'm inside and I don't have the heater on. It's actually cold right now. But yes, it gets pretty cold here. I've never owned a coat prior to coming here. Yes, you'll need to purchase coats. And by the way, if you come here in August, try to get your coats from August, September before it actually gets to the winter time, because the closer you get to winter, the more expensive your coats will be. So as you come, try to get your coats ready and prepared. Where am I? If a J1 gets their visa, is it a must that the J2 will get theirs out as well, or can they be denied? Once again, I don't work with embassy, but I don't see why they would be denied. Once you have a clean record and everything, this is your spouse, this is your child, I don't see why not. By the way, your child must be less or younger than 21 years old. After 21 years old, they won't be taking your children. Okay. I think we're getting in a lot of questions. We've responded to a lot of questions thus far. I'm going to continue while you guys are still thinking about any more questions that you possibly have. Does the company or school pay for your tickets, accommodations, etc.? I know of one person who said that her school assisted with her ticket. But guys, this is not written in stone. Most of the people that I know of, including myself, we did not receive money to assist with our tickets or with accommodations. I know what Interlaunch has done in recent times is to provide you with an apartment and then you repay them afterwards, because of course sometimes they don't have the money straight up. But that's the most I've seen them do thus far. I know that some people have spoken. I don't remember if it's Participate or one of the other programs that they said provided with accommodations, and still I don't know if it's free. So if anybody knows of any program that will provide you with free accommodations, please let us know. But I don't know of anyone providing you with free accommodations. While they'll help you to get somewhere, most of them, I don't know about the free part of it. And in terms of tickets, I don't know about the free part of it either. This year, interesting enough, I have friends who came this school year, and their school, just out of the goodness of their heart, they helped them with, getting furniture and stuff like that. That didn't happen for me, but must be nice. You never know what can happen for you, but it's not something set in stone that they're gonna assist with X, Y, and Z. Right, as Tashana said regarding the whole ties thing, the U.S. Embassy doesn't care as long as your marriage is legit. Once you guys have a clean record, your marriage is legit. I don't see why they would deny you. Malika, some persons who get married just to be J2 are worried. I heard they don't care. I know many people who get married just for that reason. And it's not that your marriage isn't legitimate, because I know some of you probably have your boyfriend or your girlfriend and you've been going on for a long time, and for whatever reason you probably just didn't get married as yet. And now this opportunity has presented itself where your spouse, your girlfriend or your boyfriend got through for one of these J1 programs, and you want to come with them because you want to continue being in a relationship with that person, and the only way to get here with them is to get married. I know of people who have done that, both for the J1 program, both for the Savannah thing. You're not gonna be denied. Yeah, because it's not like somebody who is a US citizen already, and then you get married to them and they're clamping down to see if this is legit, just to see if you get married to this person, get your papers. Because remember, a J1 visa is not a green card. So these people really don't care, because you being married to this person it doesn't mean that you're gonna get a green card or anything like that. So they don't care. What do you do with your furniture and car after your program has ended? My program I haven't finished or completed my program as yet. So sell it or give it away for free. That's me. If you're here for 5 years, you'll have one sofa for 5 years. It's easy to throw that away or sell it or give it away. Um, your car, you sell it, you know that you're gonna be leaving, you sell a car. If you're going back to your country and you're not doing the waiver thing, sell it. And if you do get through for your waiver and you're moving to somewhere close enough, you migrate with you move with your belongings. Um, okay, Tashana, as you see, somebody in the comments is saying that they want to get in contact with you the GEC thing. And yes, renewed skincare. That's a good thing that you're planning to do, to wait to get your physical DS 2019 before you set your appointment date at the embassy, because you do have to go to the embassy with the original DS 2019. You don't want to waste your time, waste your money, and have these people send you back because you don't have the physical DS 2019. You need to see it signed in true ink, not a photocopied version of the DS 2019. Leonie's asking if anybody's here from EPI. Do we have anybody from EPI in the building? All right, while we're waiting on those, I'm going to go ahead and continue responding to some of my questions here. Yes, I'm renewed, no problem. Yeah, man, get your physical DS 2019. All right, we got Sukamar. Guys, please forgive me with the pronunciation of the names from EPI. So somebody just asked if there's anybody in there from EPI. Sukamar is there from EPI. So if you have a question about EPI, Sukamar, I hope you can respond. Sukamar, you're currently on the EPI program. Sukamar, please respond so we can know. Sukamar, please respond so we can know if you're currently on EPI. You can probably tell us what year you're on. Sukamar is from India. Are you on EPI currently? Are you still on EPI? Or what year are you in? You're in the US, so let us know so that people in the comments can ask you some questions, because somebody wants to know who's here from EPI. All right, so while Sukamar responds to that, and guys, because I'm using the StreamYard platform, my video is delayed by about 20 seconds. So maybe you've realized that maybe you put a question in the chat box and it takes me a little while before I respond. It's because it's like 20 seconds, delayed by 20 seconds or so. So my apologies about that. And I'm going to apologize once more if there are any internet issues on my end. I'm in a room that doesn't have the greatest access to the Wi-Fi. So yeah. Another question that is here. Oh, so Sukamar isn't on EPI yet. Sukamar is waiting on the interview. The next question is, what medical exams are required by the district or by the sponsors? I did not have to do any medical examinations. I don't know of anybody who had to. So I hope that answers that question. Okay, we responded to this already. Having a degree but not in education. How much does the entire process cost from start to finish? Guys, I have videos on most of these questions that I'm responding to, but the process from start to finish, that would involve your plane fare, and it all depends on where you're coming from, because if you're coming all the way from India, then I know your plane fare is probably about $2,000. But I'm gonna use Jamaica as my location, my starting point, to say between with your airfare, preparation for your accommodations, your visa, service, everything all together. I'd say plus your pocket money and everything, plus things that you'll perhaps need to purchase when you get here, like a little bed and stuff for it. I'd say have at least $4,000 to $6,000 US. And of course, this is not all at once. These are just the little fees that add up in all. And when you realize, you're like, wow, I spent all this money. Yeah, it'll hit you after you come and you're looking back. I have an interview with South Carolina, and they're asking for a proof of students' progress. Can I take my marks record? This is a physical interview. This is a physical interview. That's interesting that you're asking for proof of your students' progress. But I guess you could take your marks record. I'm not sure. That one is new to me. I've never heard of any of the programs asking for proof of students' progress before. Um Renewed, we actually responded to this question before. Oh, you're asking if they applied and they're in the US teaching for GEC. Yeah, it sounds like everybody for GEC thus far, they're basically in the same stage as you are. They applied and they're waiting, I guess. What subject areas are being hired? Guys, whatever subject you teach, just apply. Yes, autumn, you know that they're always asking for math teachers, they're always asking for English teachers, social studies teachers, science teachers, the core content areas. But if you teach music or drama or art or Spanish or French or business, or what am I missing? Technology slash engineering, computer science. If you teach any of these subjects, apply. Most of these programs recruits based on a needs basis. I've asked my program director before, hey, do you guys recruit for music teachers? And I was told no. But then a position came up and somebody got through for music on the same program, because sometimes these schools reach out and say, we really need such type of teacher. And even though they don't have it originally listed as a type of teacher that they want, it comes up from time to time. So I say, applying is free. Apply to as many programs as you want to increase your chances of getting through. So don't shy away from applying. Don't say, oh, I teach drama and so I'm not going to get through. Just apply. Just apply. um okay, so they're having a conversation with Sukamar in the comment section. Cool. All right, next question is, which countries are being accepted? I think I spoke about this earlier on, I'm not sure. But basically, from what I know or from what I've seen, they're not discriminating based on the country that you're coming from. Just have your teaching certificates ready, your degrees and all of that ready and evaluated, and have your teaching experience. And they're not discriminating based on your country. Is there an age limit? Once again, they're not discriminating based on your age, gender, sexual orientation, which the nationality. Am I missing anything from that whole thing? They're not discriminating. So apply. What is the dress code for teachers in the US? This is also a county by county slash school basis, because like my husband and I, we're teaching in the same county. He's at an elementary school, I'm at a middle school, and his school allows him to wear jeans. The county rule actually says that jeans aren't permitted, but it's really up to the principal's discretion. So my husband's school, they can wear their jeans, blue jeans, black jeans, whatever jeans. My school, we can't wear jeans on a regular basis, although I wear my black jeans all the time. Nobody cares. So yeah, I wear my black jeans all the time. But I try not to wear blue jeans because I feel like it's the blue jeans is an issue. But it all depends on the county that you're in, because like I have a friend who is teaching at a school in Savannah, and she's saying that she has to dress professionally all the time, similar to when she was in Jamaica. That's not the case for me. People wear them short dress, them whatever they feel like wearing here, sneakers, whatever, like in my county that is. So it all depends on the county that you're in. um Please save this live video so I'm definitely gonna save it. So yeah, you can, I'm definitely gonna save it. I just have a few more questions here on my thing, on my list of questions that I've, taken from what y'all have been asking throughout my different videos. Another question: what are some of the steps to take when getting accommodation? Should we wait until, sorry, it just moved up. Should we wait until we are in the USA and get the social security, or try to get an apartment when we are in the USA? I'd say start searching from before you get in the USA, especially if your program sponsor isn't very helpful in that department. Try looking from before, but like I've stated in a previous video, for me it was difficult based on my county and how strict they are with their rules in terms of having social security prior to. And so just check out your county and see what it's like. Apply. And I'm saying apply like that because I'm just remembering that it does cost to actually apply. But before you actually apply for an apartment, one, look at the website, look if they have any vacancies. Sometimes the websites aren't up to date. Did I say websites? Science. Sometimes the websites aren't up to date, and so you may see a unit that appears to be available, but maybe somebody already got through for it, and then maybe you applied and paid your money to apply, and only to hear that it's gone already, and these application fees are not refundable for most of these apartments. So I say look on the website first, look to see if there appears to be any units available. Call, and that's call the apartment, ask them about it, tell them that you are an international person without a social security and how that would look for you if there's any possibility of you actually getting through without having a social security. Hear what they have to say. If you can be be in constant communication with the apartment so you can have a paper trail, that would be awesome. So I wouldn't say wait until it gets here. Start looking from before to see what it's like at first. That's my advice on that. All right, so that's Leonie and Sukamar having their conversation there. What are some of the ways in which we can acquire a vehicle? I actually have this question on here. I feel like I skipped it out or something. Yeah. What are some of the ways in which we can acquire a vehicle? You can go to a car mart. You can get it online. When I say get it online, there's this app that we use called Offer Up. I think I'm going to type it in the comment section right now. It's not, the app is not accessible if you're outside of the US right now, but when you come, you can look at the app. The app can lead you to either a car mart or somebody who is selling their vehicle privately. And so the options are there. You can type in the car that you want. Even for furniture, you can go on offer. You can get used furniture. You can get brand new furniture. For example, when we were looking for our washer and dryer, we went on offer up. We found like a lot of the stores, they have like agents who post on offer up, and so we're able to find a store through one of the agents who are posting. And it's the same thing for the cars. They have agents posting the cars, and when you find out it's actually a car mart, you can choose to borrow money or you can have your money in hand. My advice is always to try to see if you can have the money in hand. I don't like to see people in loans. As somebody who was previously entangled in loans back in Jamaica, I don't like the idea of a loan. But if that's your situation, if that's what you have to do, then fine. But if you see where you can just avoid taking out a loan and you can probably save towards a car first, do that. As soon as you get here, wherever you're living, try to interact with your co-workers, find out who is going in your area, and see if you can get a little free drive from your co-workers, and you give them a little money at the end of the month or so, just to kind of assist yourself until they really get off the ground. I don't like when people are tied up and tangled up in loans. It's a lesson I've learned personally in my life, and it's something that I don't want to see people go through. And that's something that I promised myself that when I come here is what I would not do, is get myself entangled in something that is not an asset but rather a liability. And thank you for watching too, Renewed. And I hope I'm pronouncing your business name right. Is this a YouTube page? I can't actually like click on it from this thing that I'm using. But yes, renewed skincare. The next question that I have on my list, I have a question. Where is it? Talk about the dress code. How much will I be paid? And people don't like when I talk about this because of the answer that I give them. And it's that I can't tell you how much you'll be paid. Me telling you how much you'll be paid is literally telling you my business and how much I am being paid, which doesn't make sense because when you come to the US, you won't necessarily get the same pay that I'm getting because it's dependent on your county, it's dependent on your years of experience, it's dependent on your qualifications. So I always give this example. Based on the county that you're in, if you have a bachelor's degree with 2 years of teaching experience, let's say, and I'm not saying this is what you're getting, I'm just giving an example. Let's say for a bachelor's degree, 2 years of experience, you're getting on a yearly basis 47,000. I'm just naming a figure. And then somebody else has the same 2 years of teaching experience, but they have a master's degree. Instead of getting 47,000, maybe they'll be getting 52,000. So it all depends on the qualification along with the years of experience, because also you could perhaps have a master's degree but you have 2 years, somebody have a bachelor's but they have 13 years, so naturally the person with the bachelor's will still have or still get more money than somebody with a master's with just 2 years experience. My advice to you all is, or what I'll say to you is, you will not come to the US completely blind. If you've received an offer, your offer will literally have the amount that you'll be receiving. So you won't be coming blindly to say, after a week or two of being here, I wonder how much my payslip will be. Um, Thank you, Labelle Lifestyle. So right, you won't be wondering, I wonder how much my payslip will be. It will be on your DS, even if it's not on your offer letter, which it has to be because you have to sign your offer to say you agree to getting this amount. It will also be on your DS. So what you'll be earning will not be a secret. It will not be a secret. But one thing that we've actually discussed in a previous live that we had, the one that we said is the grass greener on the other side, and we had parts 1 and 2 on the US, part 3 on China, and part 4 on England. I'm definitely saving the live. I will be saving the live, guys. Like the live, guys. I see you guys are enjoying the live. Please ensure that you've clicked like on the live. Guys, I've said it before and I'm gonna say it again regarding the whole pay situation. If you got your offer to start in August, ensure that you come before August so you can start out yourself, get your social security and everything, so you can actually start working on time. When you start working after the time, this money is cut from your pay slip for the entire year. So even though I got here July 15, I started working August 11, which was some days or almost 2 weeks after school had officially started. And maybe we could call it 3 weeks because technically as a new teacher you're supposed to go through some training towards the end of July and whatnot. And because I started late for the entire year, my salary was not cut in half or anything, but there was some amount deducted for the entire year, and I had to wait until August again when the contract reset and everything before I started getting what I was supposed to be getting. There's no retro to get, right? So they're saying that you start later than the actual start date for the school year, you get less money than you're supposed to, and it sucks. So when these people are telling me try to get here by early July, and I was like, why do I need to get here beforehand? Like, it's expensive coming from your country, and thinking about to pay rent for a whole month before you even start working, and then another, it's a lot, I know, but it's better to sacrifice and maybe borrow the money. And as much as I'm against the whole loan thing, maybe borrow the money for that purpose, just so that you can have your correct pay. My date to start is August 21. They say we can be in the country at least 30 days before. Okay, cool. I'm assuming because your start date is August 21, I'm assuming, renewed, that your school district actually starts school in September, because I'm assuming that August 21 is like a training start date or something, like a pre-planning date for teachers or something. I'm going to assume that the school year actually starts in September, that students roll in September. I'm looking to see if I have any more questions because, guys, I think I'm about to wrap up. Oh, the last question. I'm on my last question. I'm looking to see that I haven't missed out any of these questions. So if you guys have any more questions, now is the time to just finally push those in because I'm about to end the live. But the last question that I have here is, how do I apply? Guys, check out my previous lives on Is the Grass Greener on the Other Side. We've discussed in part one how to apply to come to the US. If you want to go to England, we've discussed that in that live, which was part four. If you want to go to China, we've discussed that in part three. Um, but the first step to get into the US is just to, how do I apply? You go on the website and you click apply and you answer all the questions. And that's how you basically start. My date to start working is August 10, 2023, and I have not received my DS 2019. How long ago, Leonie, did you get through for your school? Sometimes you have to nudge these people. Sometimes you have to send them a text and say, hey, where's my document that you promised me? And because it's hiring season right now, I know they're busy getting interviews together for other teachers and whatnot. Sometimes they like until they wait until they like to wait until they have a certain amount of teachers and they put all of you in one WhatsApp group where they can communicate with all of y'all at once, and perhaps send out all the documents at once, at different times. So maybe that's why they haven't sent you your DS 2019 as yet. But you can always communicate. Don't be afraid to communicate with the people that are bringing you here. Let them know, hey, remember I've been successful for X school. You promised to send the 2019. How soon can I expect to get it? And it's not being disrespectful or anything. I just want to be, in constant communication. You want to know what's happening at all times. Do not be scared. So you sign those documents from February 21. Yeah, man, talk to the people them again. Speak to them again. I know for my program, like I said before, they're slow with communication, and I'm assuming maybe some of the other programs are like that. So guys, just talk to them. Sometimes they forget about you, real thing. Sometimes they forget about you. Just talk to them, text them, and say, listen, where's the documents that you promised me? Do you have to pay for a visitor exchange insurance for your what? What is a visitor exchange insurance? What type of insurance are you talking about? Let me Google that. Let me Google that, guys. What is a visitors exchange insurance? Oh, health is a health insurance they're talking about. Um, yeah, I spoke about that earlier on. We do pay for health insurance. I'm paying $70 for an individual plan, and it's more money as you climb the ladder, meaning more money the more people that you have on your thing. I was trying to find earlier on the additional costs that we're paying, and I said before that we're actually going through GeoBlue. That's the one that my company uses. Hold on. Let me see. I've been trying to find it. Been trying to find it. Yeah, I just can't find it to tell you what other people do pay. But I'm paying $70. And that's just me alone. And I did say before that if you have other people, if you have one other person, it's not gonna be 140, it's gonna be like two something. Like it gets crazy, like expensive in my opinion, when you add more people. Thank you. I'm gonna try to pronounce this name. This person said, good job, Malika. I'm gonna try to pronounce your name just for the fun of it. Not making fun of your name, but just trying to pronounce your name. Thank you, Oguchinere. Oguchinere. Tell me if I pronounce your name right. Oguchinere. Egbe. My start date is August 1st. And congratulations, guys. Congratulations to all you guys who have received your interviews already. You were successful and you're looking at your start dates already. Congratulations. A good experience awaits you. I know you guys will enjoy it. There are many hurdles to cross over, but we all have our different stories. So, okay, Raindrop is saying that he or she pays I think it's a he $72. Uh, a good chinere says that was a good try. Okay. That was a good try. Doesn't mean it's correct, and it just means that was a good try. Good try, but not correct. Okay, got it. They ask you to pay before they send your DS 2019. Pay what? What program are you talking about? Renewed? Can you tell the program again? We didn't have to pay any insurance before we got anything, to be honest. I know different programs are different when it comes on to those things. But what program are you talking about again? Renewed? I didn't have to pay insurance before I got here. It was after I got here that they sent us our insurance details and then told us when to start paying. So yeah. Don't mind me looking down, guys. If I'm looking down, I'm just looking for something. Looking for something. Why can't I find this thing? All right, so I don't think there are any more questions. I don't think there are any more questions. I don't see any more questions coming in. Guys, remember I have a 20-second delay on your end. So if anything, forgive me on that. Just cannot find the thing. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. Remember to give this video a thumbs up if you're not yet subscribed. Get subscribed. If you're already subscribed, please go ahead and get notified. Give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. Oh, Raindrop, somebody's asking if you're in the USA. Raindrop said yes. All right, ending the live right now, you guys. Au revoir.